从12月开始呢，全球部落誌单元为您播出《还我传统生活权》系列报道。我们用镜头带您进入现代Sami族人的生活。先是从捕鱼、驯鹿放牧的角度，我们看到了横跨在挪威、瑞典、芬兰还有俄罗斯境内Sami族传统领域内的Sami族人是如何在国家政策还有殖民统治的干扰之下，仍然是坚持在生活中传承。不过，其实一直到现在，仍然是有许多人使用错误并且歧视性的字汇 lapps 来称呼Sami族，并且呢是将他们的传统领域Sapmi称为是 lapland 拉普兰。lapps 这样的称呼到底是什么时候出现，又究竟是什么意思？其实并没有确切的说法。有人说 lapps 呢其实是形容Sami族的族服呢是充满了补丁的破布，或是边缘，甚至是野蛮的意思。不过其实不管这个字到底是什么意思，都不是族人用来自称的方式。如果我们不断的用这样的字眼来称呼Sami族人，其实就是对自决权的违反。接下来呢，我们要在画面上看到的呢，是在瑞典的北方，位在Sapmi境内的城市Kiruna。Kiruna在传统上其实也是驯鹿放牧的区域，它也是呢目前世界上知道最大的地底铁矿产区。因为铁矿的开发，不止呢山是被整个铲平了，挖出来的废土在旁边堆叠出了一个人造的小山丘，地面呢也整个被开肠破肚，挖出了一个大洞。这样的土地开发方式呢，其实是造成了土地的滑动、城市坍塌的危机。瑞典政府虽然明明知道，不过却做出的决定呢，是不是要停止开发，而是要Kiruna这整个城市呢往东南方迁移3公里，要花20年的时间。原因是因为呢，现在在Kiruna市中心的地底下，仍然是蕴含有大量的铁矿，还是会持续的为瑞典政府带来巨大的收益。而这样被开肠破肚的土地，当然是再也不能放牧驯鹿了。如此粗暴的自然资源开发模式，是当代的Sami族人要面临的种种考验当中的其中一个部分。不过，不公不义总会有被揭露、被平反的一天。在今天的《还我传统生活权》系列报道的最后一篇呢，我们要带您来看到的是Sami族传统生活权利肯认的一大进展。2016年2月初，斗大的报纸标题呢是写着 Gileas 击败政府。Gileas 是个位在Kiruna北方的传统驯鹿放牧区，为了要在祖居地上狩猎和捕鱼的权利，族人呢是与政府对簿公堂。族人在第一审地方法院的判决当中胜诉了，虽然瑞典政府也是不出意料之外的提起了上诉，不过这样的案例展现了族人对于捍卫传统生活权利所采取尝试的不同途径，不管是采用什么样的方式，都是在主张自己仍然存在，希望可以撑出Sami族人和政府协商谈判的对等空间，促成国家政府从法律、从政治上进行实质的改变。
If we win in the end, the Swedish authorities says that we have the right to make our own decision about hunting, fishing, and in the end also it shows that we have the right to the land and the water. We've been there. It's our land and water. Of course, it's a big impact on the whole Sapmi, naturally, and that's why we want to take it to the highest court. But of course, I don't know how it works really, the system, but it's going to take some years before we have the implement on the whole system.
2016年2月3日，瑞典地方法院的一起判决引发全世界的关注，因为法院正式以判决的方式肯认，瑞典北部一个称为 Gileas 的Sami族驯鹿放牧区族人拥有打猎和捕鱼的权利。并且也有权利决定谁可以或不可以在这里打猎或是捕鱼。
the government decided to let the hunting of small game hunting free and fishing free for everyone. I think it was in the 80s. And before that, the Sami communities have opportunity to say yes or no for hunting in the area. But then they decided to let it free. And that was become very inconvenient for the reindeer husbandry because we have a lot of disturbance on the reindeer's work. So then we decided to take it to court. And it has taken us like 10 years to get it to trial, but now we have been in court.
The some reindeer herding community, Girjas, sued, and the reason was that Sweden has failed to solve this issue politically. Well, they failed to solve more or less all Sami land rights issues, but this one has been high on the agenda. They had a formal governmental survey that presented a proposal, but they didn't go further with that, and the whole political process became dead. And then this Swedish Sami Reindeer Herding Association took a decision at its General Assembly that it should sue the government over this issue. And then the work started to find a suitable community to be the formal complainant, and the task fell upon Girjas. And then they sued the government and claimed that they have used this area since time immemorial, including for hunting and fishing purposes. And through that, they have established a property right to hunt and fish, an exclusive usufruct right to hunt and fish in their territory. And after that right had been established, the Swedish state and government has not, or parliament, have not taken any action. They have not been able to point to any particular act or action or legislation or something else where they actually take this right away from Girjas. So that's basically the argument. The right has been established through traditional use, and in the time thereafter, the government has not, or the parliament or the state in general, has not acted in any legally relevant manner that had changed that legal position. Therefore, the right is still there, and that argument was also accepted by the court.
法官 Gilias Lin 在法庭上表示 ，Gilias 部落拥有独享的小规模渔猎权，政府根本无权赋予部落渔猎权，而是部落原本就享有这些权利，可以进行小规模的狩猎与捕鱼行为。这样的判决内容，无疑是让诉求落实萨米族权利的社会运动者，乃至于全球的原住民族社群，都打了一剂强心针。
It was a positive judgmental decision, which is part of the revolution, which also I am part of, and which has been going on for 100 years since Sami first organized towards the ruling power. And this is one step forward, and they are appealing, but we will win. We will win until the last court ruling, and then more communities can do the same thing. It will affect all of us in a positive way.
Well then, I'd say you go first, 'cause frankly, this is my land, and here we live in
The
peace.
ruling in Sweden, I hope it stands. Now it's appealed, and but they have a really great case there, and we must make similar cases here, I think. But yeah, the legal system, like I said, it's designed by the colonizer, so it's hard to beat the system.
狩猎相关的争端和辩论，一直以来都是全世界原住民族所关注的核心议题之一，包括台湾。近年来更是沸沸扬扬的社会议题。传统生活方式的实践，却在现代法律规范之下成为了犯罪。
It's the main problem is the criminalization of traditional doings and hunting and everything. The regulations they criminalize our ways of doing things, and the main problem with that is that we accept it and we just shut up and we try to buy policies and write letters. You can't overturn our ways of doing things, but we are not hard enough, I think. So So the path forward from here, we have to just do our thing and take it to the legal system. Is that what the government wants?
Before it was that it wasn't regulated, and there was everything was based on tax. Like everything was you had a tax to pay, and when you were nomads, you were moving around. You didn't have land, but you owned. So the tax how you paid, you paid by different skins hunting. So the hunting, there was no license for the hunting. It was so obvious that everybody hunted and didn't need any license. And what you could hunt, you hunted. But the Sami way of life was that you always had the balance. You didn't hunt too much for everything. But like since 1500s, things changed a lot. Of when the Finnish people started to migrate here, there were more people to hunt, and then they started making slowly regulations. And now when we're living in 2016, so like Sami don't have any other rights than any others. It's more bound to these communities. If you are local, you have the Sami, and you can come from Taiwan and live here as long to get the Finnish residence. And then if you're local in this area where we are in Inari, you can get the same rights as I do.
不管是挪威、芬兰还是瑞典，甚至是台湾，所面临到的困境背后的原因，其实都是一样。
That when it comes to land and resource rights, it's so sensitive, and there's a strong interest on the other side that it's extremely difficult to get the political solution. It's very difficult to get the majority population to enact laws or other policies that recognize extensive land rights or land rights that the indigenous peoples are entitled to under international law, simply because the effects it have on the majority population, and in particular the other non-indigenous persons that live in the area.
而这也是为什么吉利亚斯的法院判决对不管是被划分在哪一国国境内的萨米族人都是如此重要。最终的判决可能就决定了未来萨米族人在这片祖居大地上究竟该何去何从。这样殖民思维模式其实充满了矛盾，一方面忽视、否认萨米族的传统和知识，用各式法规限制了萨米族人的权利行使；一方面却又大开方便之门，贩售打猎许可证，让非萨米族人只要有钱就可以为了休闲、为了娱乐而打猎。
I personally, I don't buy the governmental hunting cards. I don't follow their regulations, and if they catch me hunting, then I'm happy to go to legal system to try this, because it's really wrongdoing. You have to only pay a few hundred kroner, and then you can go hunt, and you have to go to internet and tell where you have been hunting, how much you have been catching. But my opinion, it's not their land, it's my land, it's our land, so I don't have to ask permission from anyone, not any government to hunt on my ancestral lands. But they buy the cards and they listen to the government, and then they just go home and be angry, but they don't do anything more.
Okay, so with the card, if it's a non-Sami person, can he also buy the card?
Oh, whole world can buy a card. And
Okay.
yeah, and it's only slightly different. If you can be from USA and buy the card.
The duck hunting goes back centuries here, until the first guns appeared in Sapmi, and people became able to shoot and hunt for ducks. Before that, it's known that people hunted ducks with nets, putting nets between some trees, and by that catching flying ducks. Nowadays, the duck hunting is done with rifles, and it has a really strong tradition. This is the only municipality in Norway, and I guess in all Sapmi, where it's still legal to hunt ducks. And it's legal because it has strong traditions. It's a strong Sami cultural thing to do. Some decades ago, the duck meat was the only fresh meat people could achieve here after a very long and harsh winter, because the reindeers aren't being slaughtered until the fall. So during the spring, when the summer came and the birds came, people hunted the ducks because they needed the meat.
But the problem is they open the hunt long before traditional hunt starts. So when we start to hunt, the birds are all gone and the game is all gone, because all this, not only foreigners but also from southern parts, Norwegians come to our traditional hunting grounds. There were 5,000 not foreign, but southern Norwegians hunting last not spring, but was it autumn. The thing they did in the summer, they said, now it's many birds, you can come all the world, because they make money off the hunting cards.
除了出自于生存的需要，不管是狩猎、捕鱼或是驯鹿放牧，所隐含的是一个族群之所以可以在极圈地区如此严酷的气候环境中持续存在千百年之久的重要生存知识与智慧。
You have to know the rivers, you have to know the lakes, where to put the duck hunting camp. You have to know the birds, you have to know the names of the birds, the sex of the birds. So there's lots of language which follows the hunting tradition. And what we see today is that more and more young people doesn't know those words, they don't know how to hunt things, because of those strong regulations we have today. It's legal here, but it's very heavily regulated. You can only shoot 150 to 300 ducks per year for a period of 1 or 2 weeks. So it's kind of scaring, frightening people away from duck hunting because of those strong regulations.
So my concern is that our youth, who now, a few generations from now, that they lose the connection to nature and lose the way of thinking about nature and be with nature, in nature. So that's it's assimilation in many ways.
在挪威的高都盖诺市，就算依法，萨米族人可以在春季猎鸭，但不只是狩猎的数量和期限被法律强硬规范着。想要猎鸭，要先取得猎枪许可，而后才能申请猎鸭许可。重重的申请和审核过程，往往在500位申请人中，最后只有150位得到所有的许可，可以合法猎鸭。
And that's the strong fines big fines for breaking those permissions. And that's of course why people are, in my opinion, why more and more people are saying that, okay, we don't hunt anymore at all. Or they are forced to become criminals to hunt illegally. And that's a sad thing. The government is making regulations that make people criminal.
而在芬兰政府并不承认萨米族人身为原住民族而拥有的固有权利，像是对土地、对自然环境、对传统文化实践的权利。齐头式的平等政策只是造成更进一步的剥夺和压迫。
The only thing that is special, you can say, is that difference is that you have a right to own the reindeers, but in Sweden and Norway, it is the Sami. But when you come to Finland, it's different. It's everybody can own the reindeer. So that also makes it very difficult with the rights. Who has the rights to do what? In Sweden and Norway, the Sami have much more easier, better standing point of protecting their rights, like in Sweden, the Kirja's case, where they had this, that they can control what is being hunted and what is not. We have totally no control of that, even if we would like to say, and we say that there are a lot of elks, now you need to hunt elks because it's ruining all the forests, and they say, no, in that area, maybe there are more, but in that area they are not, so we are waiting the elks to go on that area. But of course they're not going there, but this is how the Finnish people are thinking. They're not thinking about how the nature works, they're thinking how it would be easier than to kill with license.
其实，在 Gilias 案的审判过程中，类似的言论也不断出现。根据平面媒体的报道，瑞典政府的辩护律师在法庭上声称，瑞典并没有国际义务给予萨米人特殊的权益，这与他们是否是原住民无关。甚至在辩护的过程当中，不断否认萨米族人的存在，并且用歧视性的词汇 lapps 称呼萨米族人。
And sitting there in the courtroom, listening to the lawyers of Swedish government telling us all, we're sitting there with our clothes, with our Sami clothing. We're sitting there. My grandmother was from there, and probably 7 grandmothers before me, and they're telling to our faces, "You don't exist. You haven't been in this area historically. Your rangers are not yours." And that was like, how can this man say something like this? And the worst, how can he be speaking for the Swedish government? How can Sweden be known as the most democratic country of the world and still oppressing us until this very day?
It's for 5 weeks of every day was a defending. They take out. It was so bad. I can't really explain it in the English because they really didn't know what they're talking about. They say that we were forced to become Christian, and they forced us to that. They deny that. The government's witnesses deny that. We have there was so much there, so it's really rough. And also they all the time they're using this word lap, and that's a very old
discrimination.
Discrimination for our people. That was also, I was shocked in the beginning, but after 5 weeks you get quite used to it. But
I wanted the world to know what the government is saying, so I sampled some pieces from the courtroom into music, into a new album, because the media wasn't there, but people, they will be hearing this. They cannot hide it.
Yeah, I've seen Sweden working international with human rights, with environmental work and so on. And we have the Swedish ministries that travel around the world always have a good reputation about human rights. Yeah. But when you see what happens at home, it makes me ashamed, really.
Gilias 案毫无疑问是具备指标性意义。瑞典对待境内原住民族的态度和方式存在有许多争议。不过，相较于其他许多国家，瑞典的法律架构从人权和原住民族权利的角度看来，仍然是较为进步。
This lawsuit and lawsuits in general concerning Sami land rights and resource rights in Sweden and Norway, at least, and potentially Finland also, is facilitated or eased very much by the fact that the reindeer herding communities in Norway and Sweden are recognized as legal subjects in Swedish and Norwegian law. So the legal subject is already there.
不过，如果不是在已被政府肯认的驯鹿放牧区内的萨米族部落想要提起诉讼控告政府，首先要先由法院来裁决这个部落是否可以被认定为是部落，并且拥有法人资格。这样的裁量并没有任何标准可言，而是由法院针对不同的案件个案的评判。目前在瑞典尚未有相关案例。此外 ，Gilias 案还有个特别之处，就是提起的主张依据并不是常见的文化权，而是以产权的观点出发。
And in particular in Sweden and Norway, there have been court cases So there is absolutely clear that under Swedish law and Norwegian law, Sami reindeer herding communities have property rights to the areas they have traditional use. That is not under dispute anymore. That issue has been settled. Such a property right should, because that's the nature of property rights in general. Property rights are normally, or the right to property is normally described as a bundle of rights. You have various elements. You can use it, you can sell it, you can blah, blah, blah. And one element is that you can determine who from the outside have access to your territory, to your property. The good thing about the right to property compared to the right to culture is that with the right to property you don't have to justify why you say no. I mean, if you come to I come to your house with a bag of $1 million and say I want to place this on your kitchen table and then just go, you can say no to me. Even it's completely irrational, but it's your right to say no. With the right to culture, you have to demonstrate that the intrusion creates quite a lot of damage and so on. You don't have to do that with the right to property. Very few indigenous people have this concept of property, at least not as it is found in Western legal system. And that includes the Sami. I mean, this way of looking at the land with this kind of strong property rights is not a part of the Sami culture. Basically decided for strategical persons or reasons to adopt, to basically use this system. It's not ours, it's not created by us, but it can be useful.
从法律的观点而言，策略的运用是很关键的因素。这其实也反映在族人所一再强调的，对于传统生活权利的恢复，并不是要固步自封、守旧，而是在种种挑战和限制中，找到一条可以往前迈进、永续生存的路。所以愿意调整，愿意尝试。
We are one people, we have a traditional way of living, but still we are a part of a global change and the culture, what you say, utveckling. We're not standing still in one point, we want to develop also. So, but we want to do it in our terms, in our way.
站在可以俯瞰瑞典北部驯鹿放牧区的山丘上，遥远的那方就是 Gilias。除了狩猎和捕鱼权利的限制，政府所强加的开发政策也改变了地貌。挖矿所形成的巨大坑洞，直接切断驯鹿迁徙的路径，更不用提对自然环境的根本性破坏。
Down here in the valley here was a big lake. And there was a big mountain there where the mine is. It was a really big mountain where some of the reindeer herder families from the Levas area have their spring area with the calving lands. And it's so, yeah, you can't understand it when you look at it today. It's so destroyed. The lakes we see down here in the horizon there, it's not really a lake, it's like mud. It's processing water from the mine, pumping up from the mine.
遥望着早已饱受摧残的大地，带领族人在司法体系中坚持奋战的领导人只能苦笑。Gilias 诉讼案的判决虽然起始于狩猎和捕鱼的权利，却隐含有更广大而深层的期待，希望可以撑出Sami族人和政府协商谈判的对等空间，促成国家政府从法律、政治上进行实质的改变。
The idea and the hope is that if or hopefully when Gilias win this case, that will pressure the Swedish government and parliament to seek political solutions. Because if they start to realize that the alternative is that Sami community by Sami community go to court and claim back their right to land and natural resources, then it would be better also for the state and for the minority population to find a negotiated solution. So the idea is not to have 50 Gilias cases. The idea is to have one or perhaps two are needed, and then hopefully that would then force the government and the parliament to sit down and try to find a deal with the Sami reindeer herders.
We need to take that space, and this court we're involved in is one part of it. But every day is a struggle for our rights. We need to adjust the system. The system is made by colonizing powers, people that come up here and see our iron, see the forests, the lakes, the rivers, and all the resources. And they want to take it and make money out of it. So they're making laws that suits them, regulation that suits them. They take no notice about the Sami people that really exist up here and our way of looking at things. But that we need to change.